Hello. Hello, it's Sunday night. It's the last Sunday in February. And I have caught up this weekend with my dog is tapping around. You know what that means? He might need to go out. I think he does. Are you okay, Jax? You okay, buddy? He has not been feeling good. And I gave him, he wouldn't eat I made him some chicken breast last night that I sauteed in chicken broth. Not that this has anything to do with what I'm talking about, but he wouldn't eat any of it. He wouldn't eat his chicken kibble at all, which he does from time to time. He gets tired of it. So today I went and bought him beef kibble, and I made him some, and I picked him up some grass-fed bison burger, so he and I could have a burger tonight. And he ate all of it. He loved it, but he still feels just puny, and he's had diarrhea twice since then, but he's had diarrhea and been throwing up kind of for a couple of days now. Yeah, you okay, buddy? You get some energy now? You all right? Anyway, that's him tapping around in the background, hacking all the things that I've talked about before, but he's 15, and he's just so adorable. Anyway, back to the news. So, just go, Google, Google. When I get in this position, I need to cough. Google the news for compounding pharmacies and GLP-1s, and or type in compounded semaglutide, tirzepatide, whatever variation of any of that, and then click news. All this news is going to come up, and then go into sort and sort it by, you'll see, sort it by the last 24 hours, last week, month. Personally, I'd go back a month and kind of like scan through all the headlines and maybe a little few of the articles, whatever you can. And then as you get closer to the current date, read some of those, and then I'll give you the big picture. But basically, the FDA has provided this like timeline for and kind of spelled out what 503A and B pharmacies can and won't be able to do, and this date range that I don't fully understand. When I'm going to try to translate all, because I'll for sure muck it up. But it impacts script holders for GLP-1s, compounded GLP-1s, which is me and a lot of people, because most people can't afford the other, and most people's insurances didn't qualify them. So there are millions of us probably by the day, thousands by the day, I am gathering. Anywho, go on and read, catch yourself up with the news, and then go to my guy, Dave Knapp, Knapp, who hosts On the Pen, Man on the Manjaro. I listen to him on Spotify. I've been following him since the very beginning of my journey. He is a great source of information. He just is really good at dissecting the news and summarizing it in the way that us common folk can make sense of it a little bit in our minds. And he also does it in a way, he's just got this great balance where he's not like pot stirry, and he's good about like not saying it in a way that causes like anxiety or fear. Because this feels like, to me, and I'm not a pot stirrer, but I am feeling like a snowstorm. Like I gotta go get my toilet paper and my eggs and my bread. I feel a little bit like that right now, not gonna lie. And I think we need to know what's going on, so we're not, we can plan for our futures. And at least for those of us who have refills on deck, maybe kind of look at those and see what your options are as far as filling them, and your storage options and all of that. Everybody's scripts are a little bit, and their recipes might be a little bit different. So that's why I'm bringing it up. A. B. there are all these advocacy groups in place already. And our guy, Dave Knapp, I think he spells that out somewhere in his site profile. I don't know. I got to go and look myself. But we need to do our part in having, if that's our platform to have our say, we need to utilize that and make sure that we pile on, because our hope is that, by the numbers that will grow, and they'll forward what are, what we need, what's necessary, what we feel like at this point is necessary, and what we hope, and what our hurdles are as far as getting it. I mean, I flat out just couldn't afford it. I mean, that's where I drew the line in the sand, and I'm just thankful that there was another avenue. And now that I'm on the compounded version, I have never dosed myself to match up with the pre-dosed injection pens of the brand name. The only time that mine lined up is when I first started at 2.5, and only because I didn't know then what I know now, and I definitely wouldn't have started at 2.5. I would have started at 1.0. I think they dose people too high. And I didn't have 20 pounds to lose. I have between 50 and 70 pounds to lose total without being a twiggy. So I've lost 35 pounds at this point, and I saw the ways to go. And I've had stalls lately, all that, but the other health benefits is really making me want to hang in there and not give up on this peptide therapy. And they're learning more about that by the day. But in the meantime, we don't want these huge stop gaps to happen, and we might not have much control over it, but we do have an outlet to let our voices be heard, or at least our thumb-typed opinions, hopes, complaints, or hurdles, if you will. I mean, I'm not trying to get in there and fight these big pharma groups. I'm just surely by now they understand we can't afford it. And they just don't seem to give a shit, which makes me not want to support them. But, we want it to be safe and whatever, all the things. Just read the news, go on Dave Knapp, find the advocacy groups, and let's do our best in doing our part and, keeping this GLP-1 accessible so we can continue on with our improved health journey. I'll call it that. Because at the end of the day, isn't that all that we want? It's just improved health for the days that we have left on the planet. That's all. That's the end game. It's all that really matters. And I feel so passionate about it. I wish I was in the healthcare industry right now. I mean, this is such a revolution. I am thrilled about this option, and I'm happy to give credit where credit's due and float my dime their way. But I just can't afford $1,500 a month. I don't know who can. Rich fuckers, which is fine. Good for them. I wish I were. I'm going to have to find a side gig to make money so I can afford my GLP-1. Okay. I have a little time for that. Maybe this is it. But I doubt it. So let's just do our best together to be able to continue and not have this gap in service, if you will. And also look at what you have in the fridge and the freezer at this point, and look at what you have on script for refill, and you better pay attention to that, because I feel like soon, there's going to be a change. All right, you guys. Well, hopefully not. I'm going to go finish my margarita, enjoy my night, watch a show, and go to bed. Pray that I don't have to get up with the little man for diarrhea or vomit in the middle of the night, and get on to my work week. Woohoo! Last week in February. Spring is a-coming. Peace out.